everyone, welcome back to DBW. I am Jen. I'm here today to talk about WRESTLEPALOOZA. Guys, I thought this show was pretty good, and I'm going to be honest with you. I watched it on ESPN. It was $30 with ads, by the way. It was ads on it. That pissed me off, but we're not going to talk about that. I thought the show itself was pretty good, and let me explain to you why. First of all, I want to just say thank you, WWE, for another good show. I noticed people criticisms about the show online, for sure, and I'm not going to denounce them at all in any way. They're very valid criticisms to have. People were expecting more surprises or, more things like that, but at the same time, people always say that Triple H is a moment merchant and that he only focuses on big moments, and he chose to opt out of this time, and not being criticized. I guess because he said expect surprises, but Triple H also said that firing R-Truth wasn't, a part of the show. So we can't just go over everything he said, okay? That's not what we're going to do here. Instead, we're going to just go over what we see. And what we see is that this was something that was fresh. A wrestling show that prioritized wrestling. It didn't give us too much of just a bunch of stuff to push tickets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that we went this route and that the show delivered. And I'm going to explain why in a moment. Just give me 1 second. First off, Cena and Lesnar. Oh, Jesus Christ. He got absolutely obliterated. We all saw it on God's green internet that he just got absolutely destroyed by Brock Lesnar. And you know what? Good. Why? Oh, why do we have to keep on pretending that just because Cena's leaving, he doesn't have mountains to climb still? He doesn't have people that he could still face that are unorthodox. He doesn't have things that are still lingering in his career that focus now entirely on fixing past mistakes. And you know what? He didn't do it. It doesn't have to be a fairy tale ending, but it has to be something to justify John Cena as a babyface, because his heel run was a failure. It was a failure. I liked it though, but it was a failure in the eyes of many. So that's what I'm going to consider it here. So his face turn was justified by him fighting the person that everyone hates the most, Logan Paul. I don't think his face turn would really have justified him fighting AJ Styles or anything like that, or even Dominic Mysterio for the IC Championship. I don't think any of that would have happened. But this is justifying that John Cena, he will never, ever really, truly be over the mountain that is Brock Lesnar. And I got to be honest with you guys, I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't a great match. I got what I expected from Brock Lesnar and this aged John Cena, no offense. I didn't hate any of it. I thought the storytelling in the ring was good. I thought the actual presentation of the match was pretty solid. I found that Brock is more of a monster than he's ever been, and that John Cena really tried to come at him a bit, but he's so limited now, and it's hard to really grasp, why people are demanding so much from him. I'm not. I think he's getting what he can deliver, and I'm grateful for it, really. And I feel like a lot of wrestling YouTube and wrestling social media just become people just grandstanding and begging for things that they don't actually want or barely understand at all. And could this be done better? Yeah, of course. Anything could be done better. But I gotta stop with we gotta stop with this. If it's not what I wanted, it's bad narrative, because it's getting so annoying. But overall, the match was A-okay with me. It just needed a little bit more, probably a few more spots. I feel like Brock just wanted to get out of there early, so they couldn't really work with him too much. I feel like it needed some table spots, maybe even a Brock through the barricade spot, maybe a little blood bust Brock open, something like that. I would probably rate it higher, because right now I'm going to give this match a 6.5 out of 10. Not great, right? Not great, but not awful. It's pretty much what I expected, and I'm glad I got it. The extra things was keeping it out of being a 7, but that is my rating. I hope you guys agree. Let me know. And in the next match, we got the Usos versus Braun and Braun, son of the Vision. Now we're talking, right? Now we were actually talking, because we got LA Knight as the special guest referee in this match. And it basically turned into a no DQ contest. Man, guys, come on. First off, the new gear for Braun and Bronson. Love it. It's super cool. I love that they actually have some sort of color coordination and some sort of identity now. You know, I feel like they've been really trying to like push it out a little bit without ever actually giving us the name of the group and then the idea of the idea behind them. And now we got the color coordination and everything. I really appreciated the gear. They look really cool. And also, you know, like the Vision logo they had on the back of it. It was really dope. But also, the Usos had 3 entrances. Okay, so they came out with the Usos theme first. Then they came out. Then they turned it to Jay's theme so they could eat, right, of course. Then they went into the ring. Then they did it again. Ye did it a second time. It was a good match, okay? It was a good match. I liked it. I'm not even a big fan of the Usos like that, of their style, because I think it's just usually super kick fests. But, man, no, I actually enjoyed it. You know, I think, you know, it was pretty cool to see the 1D again. You know, Jimmy, he's going to do, he's supposed to do in the ring, swanton bombs and all that stuff. But, man, I really liked it. And even for Jay, like, I feel like his spear was pretty good this time. His super kicks weren't too much. We had some chair spots. He did Bronson did the classic. We want tables. Pull the table out and then push the table back in. That always gets a good boo. But the table eventually did come into play, and man, like Jay Uso, I believe cut his head open on a steel chair. Like, I think he lifted it like this and then cut his head with the chair. Man, that sucks. I didn't think he would do that. He cut his head open, split it open by swinging a chair. Come on, Jay, really? Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. But I hope he's okay though. Apparently, he's in a concussion protocol. I'm sure that he's gonna have to get some stitches for it. You know, anything can happen in the ring, so you gotta be really careful. It was just a scratch, but you know he's okay, so that's good. But I believe that Braun and Bronson needed this victory, and they got it, so I'm satisfied. I'm going to give this match an 8 out of 10. Guys, let me know what you think. It's been pretty good so far. I cannot complain. I really can't. Next, we had Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer, and man, let me tell you, this was almost my match of the night, for sure. Most definitely. Just a classic clinical wrestling event. And man, the women have been killing 2025. It's been their year, really. And I just see it every time, especially since Evolution, just how good they are when you just give them the reins and allow them to do what they do. It has been fantastic to see them perform. And I'm grateful to be a women's wrestling fan, man, because this was so good. And it was the perfect time. And while Naomi is not here, I wish she was still here, need a new champion. And I do not want Io and Rhea again. I'm good on that. I think everyone's good on that. I think we all have reached our cap of Io and Rhea. So Stephanie Vaquer versus Rhea Ripley going forward at Crown Jewel. Or will it be Stephanie Vaquer and... Well, no. Yeah, wait, no. Hold on, think about it. There won't be a women's Crown Jewel match because Liv Morgan is the Crown Jewel champion and she's injured. I forgot about that. I forgot that was a thing. Wow. So we'll probably just get Io and Stephanie, and we won't defend the women's Crown Jewel championship this time. But man, I really liked this match. And I'm glad we got this match because Stephanie Vaquer is such an amazing talent. They put the rocket ship on her as soon as she got here, like she deserves. And I'm so grateful that Io and Stephanie were able to come out of this both looking fantastic because what we needed, man. I'm going to rate this match a 9.5 out of 10. Absolute classic match. You should go give it a watch if you haven't already. Next, we had the tag team match between CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Man, this was by far my match of the night. It was from top to bottom way more than it actually needed to be. The spots were great. The wrestling was great. Man, the heel work was so good. Becky and Seth are the absolute worst, and I love it so much. They are terrible. I cannot stand either one of them. So good. AJ Lee's first match back, and she won. She tapped out the women's IC champion. And this is setting up for CM Punk to go after the world title again. I wish he would stop fighting Seth all the time, but it's good, so we'll let it slide. And AJ Lee to go after the IC championship, which is, like I've said, the best title in the company right now. It is. There's no world title better than the women's IC title. There's no mid-card title better than the women's IC title. It is the best belt because Becky Lynch is that good. She's doing her best work that I've seen in years, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of that and see this live because this was so good. If there is any other match besides Stephanie Io you need to watch, it is this one. This match was bananas. It went way out of a left field. It had to do half the things that it did. This was what we wanted, and it's what we got. And man, I am so happy to have seen it, man. AJ doesn't look like she's missed a step. Becky was the perfect person to involve herself in this match because she is such a great talent. And she's always putting over people, even if, they're older or younger, doesn't matter. Becky Lynch is just such a great foil for you to come back to and have a good quality feud with. And I'm looking forward to seeing that IC championship match between Becky and AJ because AJ just had the champion out. She's got a complete reason now why she should go after it. They didn't just throw it in there just because. I really liked it. But, man, even CM Punk and Seth, and that's something that I want to give a criticism for this match about, though. The crowd was so lame during WrestlePalooza. Wow, the crowd really sucked. It was crickets during this match for quite a bit of it, and it's like we're watching CM Punk and Seth Rollins in the ring right now, and because they're not AJ Lee, you guys are giving no noise or no reaction. That was whack. The crowd was weak. They really were. I did not like the Indianapolis crowd. 2 PLEs in 1 year, they weren't deserving of that for sure. They didn't need this or the Royal Rumble because that was also a very weak crowd as well. So, if you're from Indianapolis and you were there, yeah, what are you guys doing? Seriously, like, what was the crowd up to? Like, it was nothing. It was, you guys are boring to listen to. It was nothing. But overall, match was great, and I really liked it. I'm going to rank this match a 10 out of 10. Yes, a 10 out of 10. This is the best match on the card, in my opinion. You guys need to check it out. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I don't care if you watch it through WrestlePalooza, through the ESPN app for $30, or if you watch it through other legitimate means. Just check this match out. I don't care. Yeah, guys, seriously, check it out. Next. And last but not least, we got the world title match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. Man, I don't know what exactly I was expecting from this match. Because it was very weak build because they kind of just slapped it on like a weekend ago or maybe like a week and a half ago where Cody just got done filming. He had to have a match for the card. So I get it, but I would have rather we got like a Sami Zayn match, for another Open Championship match or Open Challenge. And we let the last match main event because this was not a good follow-up to that match. And this match wasn't even bad. It really wasn't. It wasn't even bad. It was just stale, It was like, I don't get why this match really had to transpire. And I don't quite grasp why it was, like, so necessary for this card. Because Drew didn't win, and I feel like a lot of people really were hoping for him to do that. Drew McIntyre as a heel isn't resonating with a lot of people, and they aren't, really like sold on him as much nowadays. Because Cody is such a dominant champion, and yeah, I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with Cody being a dominant champion. I don't want to see him be a lackluster or underperforming or weak title holder, but I do believe that Cody Rhodes is going to be in the same boat as Sami Zayn if we don't get something different from him soon. Because he's so dominant, and he's not like, a heel. So it's like he's never going to like brag about how good he is or anything like that. And he's never going to, like, even the audience turns against him, which I fear could happen if we keep down this path. Unlike Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes doesn't call himself the underdog. He doesn't call himself something other than what he is. He's great and he knows it, but he didn't flaunt it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give him points for that. But the match itself, spots were unique. The in-ring work was good. The storytelling in the ring was really solid, especially with Drew McIntyre on his end. The Alabama Slammer to the steps. The missed kick through the table. Now, my only problem with that is that he had to sell it like his leg was hurting after that kick. So that really is what messed him up from getting the Claymore on Cody, right? Because his leg gave out, which I saw coming a mile away, right? I saw it coming light years away. And it just felt weird. It was so weird. I feel like this was really rushed and really slapped together because I think it actually just was rushed and slapped together. This match should not have main evented. AJ Lee should have main evented. And it's the world title, so it's going to go last, but it shouldn't have. You know, it really shouldn't have. The W Championship, I hate to break it to you, it's not as important as it once was, and I don't care about just putting it at the end of the show because it's the world title. I'd rather it go by how good the matches are and what people want to see. People came here for AJ, right? No one came here for Cody and Drew. So I can't even rate it that high due to that. I'm going to end up rating this match a 7 out of 10, maybe even a 7.5 out of 10. I would say it's more fair. But this is, without a doubt, a great Cody match, right? You can expect that out of him. But I just think that this was just so unnecessary for WrestlePalooza. We could have built this up to Crown Jewel even, because it's very like a low build up. It was only like a week and a half. It's not like we didn't do too much, you know. But I know they had to fill this card out, so I'm gonna give them to it there. This is the one thing that I think we didn't really need, but I didn't hate. So that's my ranking, 7.5 out of 10. I just think that if we get more stuff like this, we would be in good hands as far as PLEs for the foreseeable future. If we get more stuff like WrestlePalooza, because the show itself overall is going to be rated 41.5 out of 50, which will be a solid B ranking. So guys, if you agree, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, right? All of that, social media, yeah. See, I seen the description, it's down there. See in the comments, be there. I am Jen. You are Jen's viewer. You are a DB subber. Woo! See you next time. Bye bye.